I made a video a couple days ago talking about the tomb and the current state, I guess, of the zombies community, and things weren't looking too hot, to be honest. Black Ops 6 launched great with Terminus and Liberty Falls, and I feel like everything was really culminating to a great zombies experience, to be honest. And I felt like the community really was backing BO6 for a while. Even with Citadel Day More, I feel like the hype trade was rolling along just nicely, and I feel like that was it was a good map. It felt like it lived up to the other expectations for the maps, and I think Citadel had enough content to keep us held over until the next map came out. And then the Tomb hit, and I think just that map just wasn't what the zombies community is looking for right now, and I don't think the zombies community um, has the, I don't want to say capacity, but I don't think they want a map that is just focused on the gameplay, less on the narrative. And I think it was a lot of different things converging at once, because I think the Black Ops 6 storyline hasn't been given out the best it could be. I think the story is really exciting on launch, and I think the prospects that they've been giving out with Richtofen and the Sam AI and certain character moments and certain characters have been pretty interesting. But I think we were looking for more answers when Citadel finished up, and we were looking to the Tomb. And I think that map just came out at the wrong time. I think that map can be loved. I think that map can be seen as a great map. I think the problem is the time it came out in, and I think that was truly the Tomb's downfall. But I think the community was probably at its lowest at that point in the Black Ops 6 lifespan, um, and this map really had to hit hard, and it really had to do exactly what the community wanted, and I think that is literally what happened. I think Shattered Veil is honestly, tentatively, one of the greatest maps of all time already. I know it's early to say, but I think this map just gives you everything you want in a zombies map. It's beautiful. It has a great Easter egg that um, forces you to understand and master the map. Fun to wonder weapons, although they are unoriginal, I do think they are fun and they do fit the map, and they don't feel like just ported over. I do think that they're well made, but I do think we need to have some more original wonder weapons coming out. Um, I think this map's narrative is probably its strongest point. I think everything with the Sam AI is so interesting, and her story has kind of pushed her into this villain role, and I think she actually works as a villain. I think the stuff with Panos going into the next map, Janus Towers, is going to be super interesting. And what does it mean for the whole story? I mean, it seems like he's talking to some dark ether god, and that's going to be crazy to find out. Who is he talking to? What's going on with that? Richtofen finally kind of becoming a character that's important to the story. He was always important, but I think they're putting more of a focus on him now, and I think that's really what the community was looking for, because I think his story so far is super interesting. He just hasn't been on the front. Um, he hasn't been in the limelight really, and I think putting him in that spotlight is going to be really great. I think his story with his family and everything with his father, and just everything that they've done with Richtofen has been fantastic, I think, and they're really building him into this great new character, because he's not the same really as how he was in any of the other games, and I think that's actually a plus. I think he's much more of a serious character, and that works for the game that he's in, and it works for the narrative. That works for giving us a fresh take on Richtofen, because I think Richtofen truly is a great character, and I think he has a ton of potential. It's just about executing it. I think this map just really hits it home. The liminal spaces that are used, you're at the Easter egg, which give you lore on the map, and they kind of give you this different look at the entire map, and they're very unique and special. It's just awesome. I think this whole map's layout is great. It feels very reminiscent of Black Ops 4 because it's very, I wouldn't say cluttered, but everything kind of has this, it's like janky, everything's set very janky, and I think that really works for the map's benefit, because I think everything that happens in the map, you have to master the map, you have to know the map, you know the locations, this, that. A lot of things looks very similar, not in a bad way, but they do look similar, so you have to know exactly where you are. But then that doesn't mean that they don't sacrifice that for having unique spawns, because they do. The spawn is very unique. It's kind of this garden-esque kind of Zetsubo type of area. And then you have like the whole seed area where there's plants, and then you have the outside of the mansion, and then you have the inside of the mansion, which is this beautiful kind of, it's kind of reminiscent of Dead of the Night in the way that it's the way that the house is built. It's very grandiose, and it has this awesome T-Rex skeleton at the front that really grabs your attention. And then you have a whole underground area that's very reminiscent of Moon, and it's just, and it has the Sam AI, which is a great set piece. I think this map really delivers on set pieces, gives you a lot to look at. It's beautiful. It's got a lot to sink your teeth into, and I think that's a huge benefit of the map. Gameplay wise too, I think this is probably the strongest Black Ops 6 map. There's not a lot of boss zombie spam, which has been a problem with Black Ops 6 for a while. I think it gives you this balance of being difficult in spots and also giving you those release valves. You have those areas where you can run around and you can train and things like that. But you also have these areas where you actually have to, you're forced into, because the Easter egg, that are very difficult to be in, and I think that's a benefit to the map, because like I said, you have to be good at the map to actually complete the Easter egg. You cannot just run in and just wing it. You have to know the map, you have to know what you're doing, you have to have a strategy set in place, and I think that really is a really huge strong point of the map. And honestly, this map honestly has really blown my expectations out of the water. I kind of have to expected a smaller map with kind of a good narrative that kind of gives you some things, and then, but it's more of a, it's still similar to the Tomb, where it's just a smaller map and it just gives you the bare minimum. But honestly, once I saw the trailer, I was really excited, and I feel like this map really delivers on what it marketed, and I'm really happy with where the future of zombies is looking right now, because the next map is going to be Janus Towers, and I think Janus Towers actually is going to be, I don't think it's going to be Tomb-esque. I think it's going to be very similar to what we're seeing with Citadel and Terminus and now Shattered Vale. I think it's going to be a big map that has a lot of narrative implications, and we're going to learn a lot about Panos, it seems like, which was set up in Liberty Falls. And I just think it's really going to be a good, hopefully not last map, but it seems like that's where it's heading. It will be the last map until Black Ops 7. But regardless, I am happy with where this is going. I'm happy with Richtofen, how he was. I feel like as soon as you finish that first ritual and you hear him talk, it's like, all right, we're locked in, like it's time to focus. And even my friends who are casual fans, as soon as they hear Richtofen, they were like, it's time to focus, it's time to listen into what's going on with the narrative, and that's just great. Another thing I wanted to mention is the sound design. The sound design on this map is amazing. I mean, when you first spawn in, you hear this music that is just so immersive, and it kind of gives you that Samantha lullaby, and then it gives you this kind of sweeping, grandiose sound, and it just feels like whatever's about to happen is going to be very just crazy as it is, and it delivers on that. And then the Easter egg is good. It's very complicated, it's very hard to do, especially for your first couple of runs. And then you get to that first cutscene, which that first cutscene blew me away. I mean, Nolan North's performance as Richtofen is just perfect. He has this moment where he kind of really gets frustrated with our crew and the way we've been acting and what we did for Sam, and it's like he really is at a breaking point at this point because he literally is powerless. He has no way of getting out of there, and when he realizes that what they've done is like seemingly irreversible, obviously we are going to reverse that at some point, but in the context of the story, it's seemingly irreversible. We've given Sam this great power. It's like he's getting to a boiling point, and I think that's so on character for Richtofen, especially with where he's at right now. He's trying to bring back um, his wife and his kid, and you know that really pushes him into this rage-filled moment towards Weaver, and then Weaver has this realization that you know what he did, which we all knew, but he had this realization about the fact that him and Sam killed his kids, and that kind of shakes up Weaver's world view and just attitude towards Richtofen. And I think that's a great character moment. And then it transitions into them deciding to leave, and then they're trying to escape the mansion, and then you just see this huge T-Rex. The skeleton reanimates and it comes out, and it's everything is just going to shit. It's going crazy, and then it's just such a great cutscene. It's so the action is so well directed, and you can tell they really cared about the transition into the fight and giving you kind of an exciting like build up to that fight. And then once it happens, it's like it's really tense, and that fight is extremely hard, probably the hardest one in Black Ops 6. The Tombs one was hard on launch. They've kind of dialed back on it, it seems like, but when it launched, it was really difficult, especially if you didn't have the strategy. But I think this map really hits hard as a boss fight. It's pretty easy at the beginning, and then it really dials it up, and that T-Rex just continues to get stronger and quicker, and it's kind of almost impossible, it seems like, to dodge him. So it's really intense. It's a really intense boss fight. You have to have a strategy. You have to know what you're doing. You have to know what the faces are going to look like, and you can't do it just going in with no idea what's going to happen. And then once that boss fight finished, you get to that final cutscene, and that final cutscene really delivers on a lot of things. It tells you about what Sam's plan is, and it gives a really great setup into the next map, which is going to be Janus Towers. Obviously, it probably won't be called that, but that's where the map is. And there's a lot of excitement for me, at least going into this next map. I think, like I have said, I think this next map is really going to be great. I really hope it is. I really hope we can end this Black Ops 6 cycle with a bang. I hope if this is our last map of the year, I hope it's great, and then we can, you know, hold off until Black Ops 7. But as a whole, like I said, I'm really high on this map, and I think it's a great map. I really hope that they're able to continue this wave. And yeah, I think Kevin Drew he's been proving himself for a while. It took him a little bit to get his footing. Cold War was great, but it really was missing that extra oomph. But I think he's really listening to the fans, and I think he's in touch with the community right now. So I really hope that we can continue this wave, and I hope this continues to, you know, keep moving forward, because I think Black Ops 6 is a really quality game. It's one of my favorite zombies experiences, and I hope they are able to finish it off great, and in a positive way, story-wise and gameplay-wise, and I hope Black Ops 7 really carries that. So there's a lot of hope coming out of this map. I'm really excited for where the story's going, and yeah, let me know what you guys think of the map. Do you feel the same way I do, or do you feel differently? Because I know some people may feel differently. Some people may feel like the game is already dead, and may feel like there's no hope at all anymore. But I don't feel that way, and I'm willing to have a conversation with anybody about that. But yeah, that's it.